There's his ability right there. Suck it, Mukasakibara. Hey guys, my name's Dan. Today I'll be reacting to Kuroko's Basketball Season 3, Episode 15. And it has been awesome seeing the origin story of the Generation of Miracles. We got Kuroko, who has finally fit in very well with the team. We're seeing Almine taking his downward spiral and not finding anybody who can really, truly compete with him. And of course, we don't see him compete with anybody until Kagami comes around and they go head-to-head with each other. And then you have Momoe showing her first affections for Kuroko. And I can only imagine what more we'll be able to see in this one. It looks like, if I'm reading the description correctly, we got the national finals. And I feel like that'll probably be the first time where the Generation of Miracles will first be a thing. Maybe not yet. Maybe by the end of their tenure, it'll be, because I'm not quite sure how long they plan on spending on this part of the story, because we still have the final game left of the Winter Cup to get to. But we'll have to see how this all goes. But before we do, though, I should let you guys know that this is the dub. I know some of you out there prefer the sub, but unfortunately, I do have a hard time reading the words on the screen. We'll also be able to follow on what's going on behind it, so I do hope you can forgive me for that. And I also hope you can forgive me for the fact that I won't be able to show you this episode in full due to copyright, plus also be flipping the screen to further avoid those issues. But sometimes YouTube decides to block these reactions, and then I gotta edit them out. It's a whole pain. Happens with a lot of my reactions. So if you want to make sure that you see this episode and my reaction to it in full, along with many other reactions I do on a daily basis, you can for just $5 a month. Just send it over to patreon.com/DDanReactor, or if you want more of a direct link and want to pay less for this particular episode, you can check down in the description. You'll also find this week's reaction schedule. But maybe you're not into Kuroko's Basketball, maybe you're another type of anime and want to see my reaction to those. Here's a full list of those animes that I've already reacted to daily on my Patreon. And without any further ado, let's go.
School and Commodore West will now be getting underway. Let's go. Now!
Let's have a good game.
Let's have a one-sided game, because that's what's going to be.
Brings those scattered personalities together. We only need to have one thing in common. Let's win!
Yeah!
Yeah, that's a great attitude. One person wants to go have some food. The other person doesn't really feel like being there. The other person is just like, oh, I'm just going to drain threes. It's going to be fine. Oh, they're only up 5.
Hang back for a bit. This would happen to you eventually. I knew all along, but my lips stayed sealed. I couldn't tell you. I can't guarantee anything right now. But if you quit, you'll have nothing left.
Oh, I see! He's motivating him to still keep going because he'll eventually find that person. Okay, alright, I take back what I just said. Good lord! They're up 50, almost 50 points.
Alright, cool, we're done.
Good god, man. Though, one thing I have to ask before we move on, though, with how good we know that each member of the Generation of Miracles is, how the hell did the other team get any points at all? I mean, how do they even get, what was that, the 46 points? Like, how do they even do that with Mukasakibara and, like, his defensive abilities? Like, I don't understand.
They'll be just fine. As long as they have you, they'll... He is going to live. However...
Oh. And that's an easy slam for him.
Mukun's becoming a lot stronger than he used to be.
I can see, because it's very interesting, because everybody else seems to be going down a bad path, and Akashi's just trying to be like, okay, well, you know, you can't just hog the ball, you gotta pass it, you gotta, there's more effective ways of scoring than just, you know, going down the lane and slamming the ball every single time. I kind of respect him. I really do.
I don't know. These days, it kind of feels like I'm overflowing with power. Just imagine.
But sir, these heroes will do much to publicize our school. Why, I hear they haven't lost a single game since they joined the team.
Alright, so now they're trying to profit off of them. Yeah, I kind of figured that would be something that would happen.
That sudden growth worries me as well. It's like he's going through the same kind of change as Aomine.
Yep, they're getting bored. Very bored.
Wait, we'll always be together, right? I mean, you and Almine are going to keep being best friends forever, aren't you?
Maybe.
Domains to be a member of the Akashi family.
Oh.
Yes, Father.
And added on to the fact of being great at basketball, he has so many other pressures going on now. How does he balance that? I have no idea.
Damn it! This is pointless!
Almine!
Wait! Almine!
Yep. It's already happening.
However, you must come to games. If you play and win, there's no problem.
Oh, so that's where he gets that idea, because he was doing that when we saw him when he was in high school. We saw him not show up to practices, and then his teammates get on him about it, and then sometimes not even show up until halfway through the game. So this is where it all begins. All these special privileges, all these things, all this entitlement. It's a recipe for disaster.
What is it you understand? Enlighten me. How exactly could a powerless wimp like you understand anything about how I'm
no, Almini, don't lash out at him. He's your friend.
feeling? Off the floor with anyone by myself. The only one who can beat me is me. Remember?
Not true.
I don't even know how to catch your passes anymore. Everything's gone.
Oh my god, look at his eyes. Man.
From the win, I don't want to practice anymore either.
Don't be stupid. The coach would never allow something like that.
Yeah, by doing that without Mine, it sets a dangerous precedent. Now everyone's gonna want to do it.
Peace anymore. Why would I waste my time listening to someone who's weaker than me? I don't need you.
Wow, what a dick!
Excuse me. Must. 1-on-1. The first to 5 wins.
Alright, Akashi gonna put him in his place.
No way.
I never expected it would actually be this one-sided.
Oh.
To be honest, you kind of let me down. But
Wow,
really
I was
called,
wrong.
didn't I?
No matter my opponent, no matter the odds, I must win.
Oh, he hasn't developed his ability yet. And there it is! There's his ability right there! Suck it, Mukasakibara!
Not even my own parents.
Alright, so he's the one who's to blame for him being the way that he is.
You can come and go as you please.
Excuse me? Then what was all that just now even for?
Wow, he completely just changed his tune. Like, literally everything changed, and now he's a total psychopath.
The generation of miracles has no need for pointless teamwork. Accept it.
Wow, the generation of miracles not really so much of a team, are they?
Once a plate is cracked, it will never be whole again. But as long as it's still useful, things are fine as they are.
This is very frightening music for him.
Occasion is his other self.
What are you talking about?
So wait a minute. What he's implying is there's two versions of him. I mean, I know it's not like another like it's like a personality disorder thing going on, or maybe it is, but whatever it is, it just got completely unlocked, and this is the future Akashi that we're seeing. Before, he seemed very friendly, very down to earth, a great leader, but now he's kind of a douche. And rather not really so much of his team, but just more a group of individuals kind of out for themselves, essentially. Like, you're gonna win, but at what cost? And we essentially have already seen that cost, right? Throughout the first couple of seasons, we've seen all of these other... We've seen all of them in the future and how they are, and this is kind of what drove them there, and man, it's awful. And you'll be friends with Kuroko because he's doing everything possible to get better. He basically just told him, don't worry about doing anything, don't try to get better, don't do any of that! Just pass the ball to everybody else and everything will be fine. Yay! Go, team, go!
And that happened because you changed, Akashi.
This nonsense again? I've told you I haven't changed.
Yes, you have.
I've always had two sides. All of a sudden, because of me, it changed on its own, and I adapted.
So what I'm guessing is going to happen, if what I'm understanding about like what he's saying, because obviously he was acting one way, and then when the thing with Mukasakibara happened, it completely changed him, right? So what I'm thinking is going to happen is the clash between his team and Seirin, and at the end of that game, when Seirin are ultimately victorious, then that maybe will change his tune, that he'll maybe go back to the way he was before, because, again, it's forcing him to change into that other side.
Maybe so. Yeah. You're probably right about that.
Oh,
It's only natural
Tetsuya!
for people to change
Don't
as they
cry!
grow.
And that was, very depressing, as we see sort of, not necessarily the downfall, because this is kind of just the beginning of the way that they are, and seeing how their abilities far surpass literally everybody else, and it forces them not to try as much, not to really care as much, just to kind of go through the motions. And the more and more they practice, the more they can see how much better they are than the second or third string players. And of course, you know, at that point it's just like, so why even bother showing up? And then that thought gets in there, and then you have the higher ups at this school who are doubling down on this, say, hey, do whatever you need to do to keep them happy, do anything whatsoever. If they want to do this, let them do it, get that preferential treatment. I'm so choked up by the way Kuroko was acting, I can't even talk. But that's how they got the way that they are, and it's very interesting seeing that transition. And I'm kind of wondering how much more of a story needs to be told here, because we basically got the idea of where everyone's head was at, how everybody was feeling at this particular time, especially Kuroko, because he wants to just play basketball. He wants to have fun. He wants to compete against other players. He truly loves the game, but it's killing him inside to have to deal with this over and over and over again. Maybe we'll see them win the finals and see how sad he is and how just unenthused everyone else is. It's just a sad state of affairs right now, even though they're winning. But again, as I said earlier, at what cost? But that will do it for me here, and I'll see you guys next time.